Okay, guys, thank you for joining 3R Guitars again, or having a look. Right, we're starting a new build today. Customer got in touch with me and wanted me to build him a mighty accurate 1958 Gibson Flying V. Now these are, we all know these are like revered guitars kind of thing. The first job we've got to do is thickness. These I've got the Carina mahogany here on limber. Lucky to get these chunks. They're obviously old stock from the supplier I went to, but lovely bits of wood. But the thickness of the Flying V is 38.1 millimeters, or 1.5 inches. So we've currently got these at 41, so we've got to come down 3 millimeters. Like I say, I don't quite know how to start this because this is not going to be the first video in this series sort of thing. So just explaining a little bit here. I'm not a novice when it comes to making historical instruments, and these were made the same time as the infamous or famous, very famous burst Les Pauls, from 58 to 1960. So there's going to be a lot of similarities in details, of the guitars, in construction details, things like the truss rod and all that kind of thing. I really can't imagine Gibson as using, where they could duplicate stuff from the Les Paul to the Flying V, they would have done. So there's a lot of internal dimensions I think I can take from that. And like I say, this is probably a bit confusing, so I'll be doing a prequel to this video that and explaining my research for doing this build. But first of all, let's get on. We've got to thickness these down to the right thickness. First of all, I'm going to do them while they're still in half, and there's no way I can get a Flying V shape through my thicknesser. So we'll do this on my thicknesser, and I'll get that set up and I'll get back to you. Right, okay, I've got these planed down now, just cleaned up really, got the saw marks off them and stuff, and we're down to, on all of them, 39 and just over 39 millimeters basically. I'm 39.25 millimeters. What I've also done is been careful to keep the pairs of wood together. They were numbered from the supplier. This was number 2, this was number 1. Obviously I'll be planing that off, and I want to keep the matching bits of wood, so I've numbered them on the edge. So what we've got here now, I'll take you over to the planer and I'll be doing them, if you like, all together, just so you know what it's one of these tools sort of thing, which is like a letterbox planer. So once you plane one side straight, if you shove it through, it'll plane one side flat. You can turn it over so you guarantee that both sides of the wood are parallel and the same thickness. So we've roughly got what I'm going to do is 38.1 is the finished thickness, 1.5 inches. Well, I'm going to take it down to 38.5 millimeters, which will leave me 0.5 millimeter to sand down to, sort of thing. So it'll leave me some finishing room on the wood kind of thing, and 0.5 millimeter is plenty. It's quite a hard work to sand that off, sort of thing. So I'm just going to pass it through now, same thickness as this was cut to, so shouldn't be too much wood coming off this time, but Now is the time to take care. What a din that machine makes, but blooming fantastic. So right, we've got the 4 bits of wood now down to the thickness that I want. And they're all, you know, we've still got them in the matching sets. So the problem you get with a flying V is that, you know, you don't glue the bits of wood together like this, because you won't, you know, you won't get the thing you want. You've got to effectively glue them together like that. So I'm going to get my templates now that are bought from Euro Spruce, which are meant to be the most accurate templates. Kind of start trying to mark all this out and see where we get back to you. Hi there, I'm back with these templates. Like I say, these are the ones from Euro Spruce, which are, you know, are actually from a 1958 Flying V. That's what they claim on their website, whereas other templates you find online for them are sort of 58 Flying V type templates sort of things. So I guess they're you know, they're you know, taken from other guitars or later models or whatever, but these are the only ones I could find that were guaranteed, you know, to be you know, as close to 100% accurate as they could do it. I had to wait a long time to get them, but the guy there at Euro Spruce said to me he was getting the body templates remade to improve them, so I had to wait quite a while to get the body templates, but very nice firm to deal with. They took a long while to come through, but didn't bother me really. Now, looking at these bits of wood, you know, it's important to get the grain, you know, don't end up with one the wrong way up or something like that or whatever. You know, you want the grain, you know, matching, and you can see, I mean, it's a very fussy grain anyway, so you'd probably get away with it, but you know, I can see that, you know, the bit of wood was like this and then probably cut through, and we've ended up like that. There's these dark patches on there which don't bother me that much, but I prefer not to have them on the guitar. I prefer to have these golden parts on the guitar. So I think I'm gonna make this the center, basically the center of the guitar. Now, one thing with it's very difficult with these, because you want, generally the grain runs parallel with this long edge. Now, having said that, I want that as the center join. Maybe that's not the best way getting rid of this. It may be best to keep that as the outside edge and do something like this with it, sort of thing, and have the center join running across there, and that's immediately, you know, got me like thinking that I'll probably do it like this. Have one side of the body here, and then the other side like that, But what I also want to do is I want to leave a lot of like scrap wood, if I can, which I have here. I want to leave a lot of scrap wood on this edge, because you know you're going to end up trying to glue together a bit of wood shaped like a V, and you won't get clamps on it very well. So what I want to effectively do is put a couple of little landings on here, like steps that are parallel to this center line, so I can put clamps on those steps. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's get drawing. I think first thing is to draw the shape out on here, draw the center line, and then we'll plan the you know, the rest of it sort of thing once we've drawn it on there, because it's one of those things I don't want to get confused with. But let's go for it, and we'll see. Okay, so I've marked the two wings of the body out. Now this joint here, this is the joint line between the two halves up here and here. So this is really the only bit that I need to saw at this stage. Now with the bits of wood actually are very generous, so I've got a good, say about at least 3/4 of an inch down this side and that side, so I can cut my steps in there parallel to the joint line out here, so I can get clamps on it. So what I'm going to do now is cut down here and do these joints, and we'll go from there. So I'll call you back when we're at the bandsaw. Right, so here's my trusty bandsaw, and I've got a brand new, really wide, expensive blade in there. For this build, I really don't want to make any fuck ups sort of thing. Probably will do. I mean, one of the reasons I build two is in case I bugger one up, but in this instance I'm really hoping that I can make two excellent guitars, because I absolutely adore flying V's. So what we'll do now, we'll get this joint line cut, and we'll just do that, and basically it's quite a simple straight cut, but you know, let's get going. Okay, so let's have a check of that. That's the two. So right, let's get this shifted, get a better view. Right, so there we go. Let's just make sure we've not done anything really stupid, which you know we haven't, so that's just great. And you know, the importance of checking the wood first and getting the grain bits. It would be easy just to plonk the things on, cut round them, oh job done this, but now you can see that we've got this dark area of grain here, and I can cut most of that out. And we're matching, we've got some light stripes there, so just be careful to set up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my planer, instead of being a letterbox planer, I'm going to come back and do this joint here to make it perfect, and I'll show you how we do that, and I'll get to that. Well, now here you are with the planer in its other mode, which is a surface planer sort of thing, and the way it cuts is that this whole section of the bed via this screw here can be slid back and reduced in height, so you can adjust the amount of cut you take. And I'd suggest for doing body joints and things like that, just take the absolute minimum cut you can, which I've got it set to. one of the vital things is, you know, we'll be taking our body half here. This is the jointing thing. We'll be putting it in here and planing across like that. Now the thing is, you want to make sure that your fence at the back here is exactly 90 degrees. If you've got it on any tilt, then your body joint is going to be, you know, your body isn't going to join square. You're going to end up like that or something. So just make sure it's square. So let's get planing this then. Now you can see I've planed them, and we can check again how square it is, and it's absolutely fine there. That's all good. That's perfect all the way along. And again we can check this side. That's absolutely perfect all the way along. I noticed when I was planing it, it's probably the direction of the grain, that here there was a bit of tearing out on the very end, but we're okay. The body line, you know, we've got enough scrap to adjust the, you know, the where we cut the body from, sort of thing. So I mean, obviously the plane blades just chipped that bit off there, but we're all right with it. So let's have a look with them put together now. Get these out of the way for now. Joint is absolutely perfect, and then we've got plenty of room on here to wiggle about a little bit, so I'm happy with that. So I think I'll play catch up with the other two halves now and get back to you. Well, looking quite sexy already, I think. We've got our two bodies ready to be joined, and I'm really pleased with that. It's quite awkward. Again, on this one, I did the sort of actually I've got these two the wrong way round. That's number one. That one goes with that. Well, anyway, they're numbered, but I think that's right. I've got the numbers on the end, I'll check, but you know, we've actually got things right now, so we've got plenty of wood to play with. We can slide these templates around. So next, what I want to do is, you know, we've got plenty of scrap on the edge, as I said. I want to draw lines up here in two places and then cut a little wedge out, so I've got parallel landings for the G clamp, so I can clamp there. So when I've done that, I'll get back to you again. Okay, hi there. I think you can see what I've done here. I've just cut out some notches so I can actually put clamps on, and you know, we left plenty of wood at the edge, so we're well within, you know, we haven't made any dire errors there, sort of thing. When you actually do the jointing with the planer that I did there, you get something what's called snipe on the end, where you know, a bit more wood gets taken away, so the joint is a bit open at the end. It's only for about an inch, but it's good again to plan. You know, you can leave that, you know, you can leave that as scrap wood, sort of thing. So you know, you don't have to worry about you know, hand fettling the joint kind of thing to get rid of that snipe. Personally, you know, if I tried to do a joint like this by hand, it would probably be a disaster. I mean, I'd start off with a plane. You know, you've got to keep everything square, this, that, and the other. I love that planer. So now what I can do is I can get our clamps and get these both glued up. I like doing that on a really flat surface, and I'm going to use my router table for that. So I'll get it all done and show you the final results. Right, here we go. Here's the two glued together now. These actual wedges cut out work really successful, and the joints have pulled up perfectly. Couple of things when I'm gluing up bodies like this, I mean, I basically did one at a time on here. I like to do it on an absolutely flat surface. These sash cramps have bases on them which are flat, so everything is perfectly flat. And when you actually glue the body down, make sure that the tops of the clamps here, these edges underneath the body, are perfectly clean and there's no lumps on them or anything like that. Otherwise the thing won't lay flat and you won't get a perfect joint. So basically, I can't lift these up, but basically, you know, this line under this bar from the clamp is dead flat and the body is dead flat against it. And to give yourself, you know, that's what you need to do. So when you glue up, like I say, you want the clamps on a flat surface. And I don't really like using my router table. I mean, this is a bit of kitchen counter worktop with a router in the middle, but I don't like using my router table for anything else but routing. But I have to make the exception to glue these together. But everything went absolutely fine. We've got perfect joints. There's no gaps or anything or whatnot. So perfectly happy with that. And you know, we've got plenty of scrap around the edge to cut a couple of perfect bodies out. So it's all good. Thank you very much.